Settle into a quieter light and let the season place a warm hand on your shoulder. Mabon is a soft pause where the goodness you have grown asks to be received, not chased. Sit where you can feel the ground. Let your breath widen the ribs. With every inhale, gather what has ripened in your life. With every exhale, let the body unclench from effort. Notice what is already here supporting you. Relationships that held, skills that deepened, moments of courage that eased open a door. Allow approval to reach the places that usually brace. This is not pride. This is nourishment. Bring one memory of the year that feels like golden grain in your palms. Hold it with kindness. Ask what quality in you made this possible. Patience, steadiness, curiosity. Name it softly. When you name goodness, it grows roots you can lean on. Let the chest lift. Let the jaw release. Your harvest is not a headline. It is a felt quiet that spreads warmth through your torso and steadies the mind. Invite the senses to bless the moment. Taste water as if it were an orchard melting on the tongue. Listen for a layer of sound beneath the obvious. Notice the temperature on your skin. The nervous system reads these signals as safety. Safety opens attention. In safety, choices become clear without pressure. Instead of pushing for an answer, ask a kinder question. Which next step preserves this feeling of enough? Which option expands the warmth I sense? The body will tilt toward what stays true. Let gratitude be gentle and exact. Thank the effort that carried you. Thank the people who walked beside you. Thank the luck that arrived and the lessons that arrived disguised. Gratitude is a current that circulates strength back into your hands. Stay with it until your breath finds an easy rhythm. Place a simple token where you work. A leaf, a stone, a small note naming one gift you are willing to receive in this season. Each time you pass, pause and breathe once. Welcome goodness without bargaining. Receiving is not the opposite of striving. It is the balance that keeps the field fertile. When you rise, carry this softness with you. Let it inform how you speak to yourself and others. Let it shape how you choose and what you release. From this state, action lands cleanly. The harvest feeds the next seed without strain. You step forward as if guided by a friendly hand at your back. Let your strength learn to soften without losing shape. Recovery is how confidence breathes between efforts. Sit back and feel where your body still holds yesterday's push. Shoulders, jaw, belly. Send breath there and ask a quiet question. What part of me needs warmth, not will? Let the answer arrive as sensation. When the nervous system settles, your inner field becomes receptive again. That is where wisdom walks in. Reframe the miss not as failure, as weather that tested your roots. What stayed upright? What bent and returned? What needs staking before the next storm? Write one clean line, naming the lesson, and another naming the gift you keep. Simple language, no blame. This turns friction into compost. Compost feeds the next growth with steadier nutrients than praise ever could. Create a gentle reset you can trust. A walk that lets your gaze widen. A shower that rinses the stories from your skin. A cup of something warm held with two hands until heat travels into your chest. As the body receives, the mind reduces its noise. In that quiet, ask, what is the smallest kindness that would make the next step easier? Do that, then rest for 2 more breaths to let it land. Restore connection. Name one person who steadies you in one place that returns you to yourself. Send a brief message of gratitude. Visit the place or bring a token from it to your desk. Recovery thrives where belonging is felt. When you remember you are held, pressure loosens its grip and curiosity wakes up again. Close with a soft promise. I will meet myself with care, keep my vow at a humane pace, and let today's light be enough. Confidence does not come from never stumbling. It comes from knowing how to stand back up without hardening. From this softness, momentum returns on its own. Let intuition rise like warm air over a sunlit field. Sit where quiet gathers and place a hand on the place your breath moves most easily. Name the goodness present right now. Safety in the room, enoughness in the body, gratitude softening the edges. From this ground, ask one kind question. What wants my care today? Do not hunt for an answer. Let it float up as image, word, or tilt of attention. The first honest whisper is usually small. Small is pure signal. Invite the senses to translate. If a color appears, notice where that color lives around you and let it guide your next step. If a memory surfaces, ask which quality it carries that belongs in your day. If your body leans toward or away from something, trust that lean as early direction. Intuition is not a riddle. It is the sum of your lived harvest, speaking in a language older than thought. Keep a brief ledger of signs so trust can compound. One line in the morning naming the nudge you received. One line in the evening naming how it played out. Over a week, a pattern forms. You will see which signals repeat and which only mimic urgency. When doubt arrives, place both feet, slow the breath, and ask if the nudge increases warmth and clarity. If yes, follow. If no, rest and ask again from a kinder place. Bless the night as a messenger. Before sleep, pose a single question on paper and think the answer in advance. On waking, write what visited the edge of your dreams before the day gets loud. Treat fragments as seeds. Some sprout by afternoon, some wait for the right weather. From this listening, action becomes gentle and exact. You move like a friend walking beside their own life, attentive, unhurried, faithful to the signal that keeps arriving. Ed's celebration become a quiet sacrament that teaches your body it is safe to receive. Sit where light lands softly and place your hands over your heart. Name one goodness that arrived this season and breathe until your hands feel warmer. Let the warmth spread across your collarbones and down the arms. This is approval entering the nervous system as nourishment. You are training your whole being to keep what is earned. Create a small feast that honors the ordinary. Slice fruit with attention. Arrange bread with care. Pour water as if filling a spring. As you taste, speak one sentence of thanks for each sense that joined you through the year. Sight that noticed beauty. Hearing that caught a kind tone. Touch that grounded you when the mind ran ahead. Gratitude becomes real when it passes through the mouth and lands in the body. Share a portion, offer a piece to the land outside your door or to someone whose path crossed yours at the right moment. Giving from sufficiency multiplies the feeling of enough. You are not losing. You are letting the harvest circulate. What moves returns with companions. Mark your proof in a way the future can touch. Place a memento in a small bowl. A chicken stub, a note from an ally, a scrap of fabric from a day you were brave. This bowl becomes a lighthouse when clouds gather. Each glance reminds the nervous system that goodness repeats when tended. Close your rite by blessing the next week with a single word that holds the tone you want to keep. Ease, warmth, clarity. Whisper it into the room and let the room answer by becoming a little quieter. Celebration is not an ending. It is a bridge that carries sweetness into tomorrow. From this softened strength, we can plant the next seed with steadier hands, shaping a vision that grows like a tree with roots already drinking from the season you just honored. Plant the next seed with the same gentleness you used to celebrate. Sit where you can feel the floor supporting you. Hold a quiet picture of the life you are growing this season, not as a distant horizon, but as a closeness you can touch. Give it one clear sentence in the present tense. I tend work that brings warmth and steadiness to my days. Speak it once until your breath deepens. If the body relaxes, the seed has found its shape. Choose soil and time. Pick a small daily window that will nourish the seed, even on a crowded day. Morning light before the world wants you, or evening calm before sleep gathers. Mark the start with a simple cue. Place a hand on your chest, touch your token, inhale with attention. Begin. You are building a living thread the day can recognize and hold. Add water in the form of attentive minutes. Set a humane minimum that cannot be bargained away. 10 minutes counts. When the timer ends, stop with kindness. Ending while warmth remains teaches the body to return without resistance. Place a dot on a page. Each dot is proof that growth is underway beneath the surface. Give the seed company. Place one object on your desk that carries the tone of your vision. A leaf that reminds you to soften, a smooth stone that fits the palm and steadies the breath. Let your eyes rest there when noise rises. The nervous system reads symbols quickly. A glance can restore the feeling your sentence protects. Tend the edges. Each week, remove one small weed that crowds your attention. A stale commitment, a tab that asks without giving, a habit that drains more than it returns. As you clear, whisper gratitude for the space regained. Space is food for roots. Roots make growth effortless when weather shifts. Invite warmth from others. Share your sentence with one trusted ally and ask them to hold the tone with you. Not pressure, presence. A short message midweek naming 1 inch of progress is enough. When two people keep a promise in view, the promise becomes easier to keep. Close each day by noticing one sensation that proves the seed was fed. Soft shoulders, a calmer jaw, a steady hum of enoughness. Let that sensation be your lullaby. The body learns by feeling. Feeling seals what words begin. With the seed placed and a simple tending rhythm alive, we can shape the outer environment so your days line up around this quiet center and carry it forward with ease. Shape the outer world so your inner harvest stays warm and usable. Begin where you cross thresholds. Each doorway becomes a tuning fork. Pause with both feet steady. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with a small sound that releases the shoulders. Name the tone you choose to carry inside. Calm, focus. Quiet, joy. Simple, clarity. This breath is a key that unlocks the room to serve your season. Choose one surface to act as a clear altar to the life you are growing. Remove what scatters attention. Keep only what steadies you. A folded note with your present tense sentence. A smooth stone that fits the palm. A candle you may light when it is time to begin. When your eyes land here, your nervous system remembers the story you picked and prepares to cooperate. Order is not decoration. Order is a signal to your biology that effort can flow without friction. Work with light on purpose. Let mornings hold brightness that wakes the mind without glare. Let late afternoons soften toward amber to invite completion rather than grind. At night, let darkness return so the body can produce the chemistry of restoration. Scent can mark these shifts with gentleness, citrus or mint for ignition, cedar or lavender for settling. Pair each scent with a single song you always use to start. When the song begins, you begin. When it ends, you rest. The cue becomes a bridge that carries you into focus even on loud days. Arrange your tools to remove hesitation. Keep the object you touch to start within reach. Keep water near so attention flows. Prepare materials the evening before so you meet the day with an open lane. Put your phone in another room and call this an act of devotion. The world can wait while you feed what feeds you. Every tiny barrier you remove is a kindness to your future self and a deposit into your harvest. Honor the endings that stitch your day together. Before meals, place a hand on the chest and release work from your shoulders so nourishment can land. After the last task, write tomorrow's 3 anchors on paper so your mind can unclench. Before sleep, Thank the day for one gift it gave your path. State changes faster through ritual than through force. When state shifts, choices improve without wrestling. Invite nature to participate. Open a window while you work. Let air touch your skin. Place a leaf or branch on your desk as a tutor in patience. Step outside for 5 breaths between segments and let your gaze widen to the horizon. The body trusts life more easily when it feels life on the skin. Trust shortens the distance between intention and action. Shape shared space with clarity and goodwill. Tell the people you live or work with, the hours you protect, and the joy you are building. Ask for quiet as you would ask for light to see. Offer your full presence when you return. Boundaries feel generous when they are paired with sincere return. A short sign on a door, a lamp turned a certain way. Agreements keep love intact while your work roots. Tend the practical ground under your feet. Choose a chair that supports the spine and a height that lets your breath move. Keep a small basket to collect strays that do not belong on your altar. Empty it at week's end so disorder never becomes a second job. Let your calendar reflect the truth you chose. Put the vow first. Let errands and trivia orbit around it rather than through it. If a request does not serve the tone you named, offer a kind alternative or a later time that honors your field. Let meals, movement, and rest become pillars rather than afterthoughts. Warm food steadies attention. Water cushions mood. A short walk resets the pattern that tightens jaws and thought. Sleep is a covenant with tomorrow's clarity. Guard it like infrastructure. A rested instrument hears subtle direction and holds goodness without spilling. Invite symbols that carry meaning forward. A jar where you drop slips of paper naming proofs and kindnesses you receive. Create a passage into focus that never asks for willpower. 2 breaths with shoulders down. Touch the token. Read your sentence aloud. Start the timer. Take the smallest step that proves you have begun. Beginning is where most energy evaporates. A reliable passage closes that leak. Create a passage out of focus that protects your energy. Close the document. Put tools away. Note the next step. Thank the work. Rising cleanly teaches the body to return without friction. A bowl that holds small mementos of progress. On dim days, touch them and let your body remember the pattern of arrival. The point is not nostalgia. The point is accuracy. Goodness did come. It will come again when tended. Treat noise as weather, not identity. On days when chaos presses, reduce your aim without abandoning your center. Light the candle, feed the vow for 10 minutes. Close with gratitude. A shortened practice still pays. When the season pushes hard, gentleness keeps the thread unbroken. Each week, refresh the room as if welcoming a respected guest. Wipe the altar. Replace the water. Trade a spent candle for a new one. Open the window wide and invite the air to turn the page with you. Name one small change that will make next week smoother. This cadence prevents drift and keeps the space faithful to your intention. Let your environment speak for you when you are tired. A visible sentence on the wall reminds you why. A cleared surface invites you to begin. A chair angled toward light suggests you sit and breathe. When the room carries part of the load, your will is freed for creation and care. As the season advances, permit gentle evolution. The object, the scent, the song can change to match your growth. Keep the core constant at Antoni. A clean start your money, you stop. A room aligned with your vow is a greenhouse. It magnifies warmth, protects tender shoots, and turns small daily tending into steady expansion. Hold one last image as you close this chapter. You stand at the doorway of your life with a quiet basket in your hands. Inside are the fruits of patience, the bread of honest work, the sweet tartness of lessons absorbed. Behind you, a room shaped to shelter your flame. Ahead, a path that curves kindly into the months to come. You step forward without rush, guided by the warmth you cultivated and the clarity you chose. What you have gathered will feed you. What you plant will answer. The wheel turns and you are ready to turn with it, rooted, receptive, and steady. May your hands keep what feeds, may your heart return what's complete, and may a small, brave seed rest well until its time.